Welcome back, it's Trade with Ellie. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, and if this is your second video you've watched of mine, go ahead and just subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to bring to you some more travel related stuff. This channel is all trade and travel related. And I am excited to bring more travel, being that travel is opening up. A lot of countries are welcoming people. There's just the restrictions are changing, or we're being able to move around, and I'm so excited to hear that people are going to be able to travel again and to be able to do that as safely as possible. So before I get into a lot of travel information that's going to help you, right, today is just to bring some fun back into my channel, right, to share a little bit more information. So I've been getting a lot of questions from different individuals regarding travel, where to go, what to do, and just people who want me to help them navigate or plan their travels. So if that's you, if you have questions, feel free to contact me below. You can reach out to me best on Instagram. You can text the number below, or you can just write in the comments and I will make sure to get back to you. However, the best option I would say is to text me or to contact me on Instagram. Now, I've been asked a lot of different questions, and some just about my travel and my experiences. So I wanted to answer a few today. And so I picked out 5 from the list of questions. If you're out there, if you have questions, if you want to add questions to the list, go ahead and put them in the comments below. I will add them to future videos. So the first question that I'm going to answer today is, what's your favorite place so far? This is a great question, because I feel like, the more places you go, like, you kind of have like your top 5. I want to say I have a top 5. I think I do have a solid top 10. So as you go places, some places move up on the list, some places move down, and some just stay down. And some stay up. So my favorite place so far, it's kind of hard to pick, but I'm gonna pick one. I'm someone who likes to always pick 2, but I'm gonna pick one solid place for these very reasons. When it comes to traveling, you're thinking about everything all together. You're thinking about the food, right? Oh, so important. The food. I've been to places where the food just sucked. And it's like, damn, I want to like this country so bad, but I can't even enjoy the food I'm eating here. That's a horrible feeling to have, right? So this place, this country, the food was great. The views were beautiful. The people were so nice and friendly, and just welcoming. And then the people that I was meeting it was just like being in the right place at the right time, with kind of everything, like everything connected, and I felt like I was around the people I needed to be around. And the country that I'm gonna say is my favorite place so far is Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Like, I love Brazil so much. It was a place that was on the top of my list for years. It was on part of my top 5 places, a must go, like pretty much almost number 1 or 2. And I wanted to go there for years, and I remember planning about like 4 years in advance. I told all my friends and people that I wanted to travel with. I was like, hey guys, for my birthday, I wrote down a list of all my friends that I was gonna invite to this trip, and I told them all, like, hey guys, for my birthday, when I turn whatever in 4 years, right, I was like, we are going to go to Brazil. I want to go there for my birthday, like, for that year. I want to go for that year. So I was like, guys, I'm telling you in advance so you can prepare. And I was like, as time gets closer, I will give you more information, more updates, the flights I'm booking, and how much you're gonna need estimated for this trip. So like 3 years out, I remember telling them again, like, I'm a big planner, if you can't tell. Not, and I told them way out, and then like 2 years, I think, away from it, I did some real hardcore numbers, so that everyone could budget properly. The worst thing is to go somewhere and you feel like you can't really eat what you want or do what you want. It's not a great feeling. So I always make sure I budget a certain way and figure out all the logistics, so you have more than what you need, or just enough to do whatever it is that you want to do. So I told everyone the numbers. I booked my flight, I think a year out, almost a year out. Got a great deal for it. And it was one of the best trips I've gone on, like, because everything was so perfect. So I don't know, having that buildup of just knowing, you know, this is where I want to go, and then I finally got to be there, and then everything was so perfect, it was so magical, that it just made it that much better. I don't know, but it honestly was such a great trip, and one of my favorite places I've been to ever. Now, there's a lot that fight for that first spot, or come in second, but I think it was just the fact that I got to go for my birthday, something I wanted to do, and just everything was right. Just made it amazing. So that's gonna be my favorite place so far. So the second question on this list is, what can't you travel without? Well, if you know me, you know what I do, then you know I am not traveling without my phone. Yes, my phone. My phone is my money maker. My phone is my money maker. I can click a button on my phone and make money, right? So why would I travel without it? And you can do everything on your phone now. So my phone is my money maker, is my lifeline. If you're interested in learning how to make money from your phone, if you want to supplement your 9 to 5, make a little extra money on the side, you want to learn how to take a stimmy to a milli, whatever it is, right? If you're interested in learning how to make money from your phone, from home, from anywhere in the world, send me a message, DM me on Instagram, or text the number in the description box below for more information. But that is the main reason why I am not traveling without my phone. Third question, do you prefer solo travel or group travel? So if you watch my video on solo versus group travel, you might be able to get a little bit more insight on why I pick one versus the other. But just to sum it all up, I'm going to go with group travel. Solo travel is amazing, right? You don't have to worry about spending time with people. You don't have to worry about doing what other people want, especially if you don't want to. You can move how you want, when you want. It's amazing. Now, group travel though is that you have people to share an experience with, and then the best part is if you don't want to be with them, you can just go do your own thing. So I feel like group travel allows you to have the best of both worlds, and it's always fun to have new experiences with people and people to laugh with. So that's why I'm gonna go with group travel, which is what I prefer, but I'm not gonna let the group hold me back from going on a trip that I want to go, because they're not ready to go. So don't be that person either. Just go. Do your solo travel when you need to. Next question is, what's been the scariest moment? Sheesh. Okay. Scariest moment. Wow. I had a few scary moments, honestly. I had a few, yeah. Where do I begin? Okay, the first one that comes to mind, the first scariest moment that comes to mind was I was backpacking with my friend across Burma, right, Myanmar, that's in Asia, and we were sleeping, and my bed is like shaking, like it feels like I'm on a water bed and someone is just like, and I'm like terrified because we slept in some really crazy, scary places. And I was just like, okay, maybe I'm just losing my mind. Like something crazy is happening right now and it's only happening to me. So I'm like freaking out. But at some point I was like, maybe I should just ask her. And I'm like, hey, like, did you guys feel that? And she's like, oh, must be the person walking in the hallway. So there was a person walking in the hallway, but the person in the hallway, I don't care what, there's no way those footsteps, they were pretty loud, was shaking the whole goddamn place, right? So it turned out it was an earthquake. So that was my first time I experienced an earthquake. It was a high magnitude. It was like a 7.6 or something crazy. Fortunately, nothing bad happened or whatever, but it was scary because we were still like backpacking towards, or like trekking through, moving towards like different cities. So we were kind of going further away than I needed to be. And I was like in the middle of the country and I kind of needed to be going the opposite way from where we were going. So I was just worried about like aftershocks and a lot of stuff, because ultimately I was supposed to travel back by myself. So that was kind of scary because it was around the time I needed to start going back. And crazy enough, I was actually supposed to be on the bus back. And if I was, I would have been on the edge of some random cliff mountain heading back to Thailand. So that moment was scary because it was just like, what's going on? What's going to happen these next days? Like, where are we, you know, just, it was just so many things going through my mind. But ultimately it turned out well. It wasn't that bad. Well, it wasn't bad, but fortunately, you know, we were all okay. So that was good. But that was the scariest moment that comes to mind. But I mean, that shake, the way that bed shook, like, that was intense. That was crazy. But hey, I experienced my first real earthquake, because I felt mini ones in New York before. But that was massive. Like, there was no, like, you didn't question what that was. You knew you felt something. But yeah, there's a couple of moments that are probably scarier than that. But we're gonna get into it in another video. Next question: what's the best street food you've had? I think some of the best street food I've had was in Thailand. A lot of great street food, Thailand and Burma actually. And I don't know exactly what I had. It's been so long at this point. But everything that I had was great. Now, street food can be a little questionable, right? But it's so good. It's so good. You know, just take care of yourself, eat your vitamins, make sure, you know, drinking a lot of water, clean your system out. But every street food I had while I was out there was delicious. So if you ever go, try it. Right? Don't knock it till you try it. And then what's the weirdest thing I've seen? The weirdest thing I've seen. Weird. Weird. I don't know. I think the weirdest thing I've seen was years ago. I was in Puerto Rico and we were in the rainforest, El Yunque, and we were hiking up to go to the waterfall, and we saw a man who wasn't walking. He wasn't walking through the path. I think he was like off the side into like the forest, and his whole body was like covered in hair. Like, he was very hairy. And you have to almost double take, like, am I looking at a person or am I looking at an animal? Like, for real. And so I remember, like, we all saw him, and then he kind of just, I think he walked fast, so it seemed like he disappeared, but I think he just like walked ahead. We were kind of going slow, and you know, you're looking down trying to make sure you don't trip and stuff like that. But it was really quick, and everybody was like, oh, and then it was like, oh, okay, you know. And I remember just doing a lot of different research on the ride back, because I remember hearing stories. So if you're African, if you have family outside the States, right, I feel like everybody has a story about people who turn into an animal or animals turn into people. So it was just interesting because it just made me think about all the tall tales, folk tales, all tales that I heard growing up about people who turn into different stuff and things like that. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but if you see it, then you're like, oh, okay, this kind of makes sense. But yeah, that was probably the weirdest thing I guess I've seen, because that's not something that's normal. Now, there are people who have excessive body hair all over that would have resembled the guy that we saw in the rainforest, and that is a condition that some people have. So that is all. So he could have, you know, literally just had that. But because it's out the norm, that's weird. But I mean, I guess that's it. I'm really thinking hard right now. I think that might have been the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing I've seen. Yeah, that might be my weirdest thing. If I can think of something more weird than that, I'm definitely gonna share it, because I'm like, weird. What's weird? Like, I don't know. But that's about it. So I picked out some of the great questions from the list. So that was 5 questions I picked out. So I hope you enjoyed my answers and my little stories and stuff like that. So definitely continue to put in your questions for the next one. I will put a form in the description box for you to be able to ask some questions that you'd like me to answer. Doesn't matter what type of question, just make sure it's travel related or things of that sort. And I will put them in my coming videos. So thank you all for tuning in. I truly appreciate you guys watching my videos and returning. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.